Hello, 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 hello. What's up, everybody, and welcome to GBN Cast, the GameBreaker Nation cast, episode 6 for, what is it, October 11th? I think it's the 11th, yeah. It's the 11th, yes it is. My memory doesn't work, but it is the 11th. Hello, 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 thanks for joining us. This is the show where we kind of keep you guys in the loop, let you know what's going on with the GameBreaker Nation, behind the scenes, all that good stuff, and the GameBreaker Nation, of course. I'm Gary Gannon. Joining me today, Missy, Adrian Clark, how are you?
Hi, guys.
And joining us for the first time on the show is Mr. JKK, Mr. Justin Kennedy. How are you, sir?
How's it going?
Very, very, very good. So exciting day today. Kind of a big day. Got lots to talk about. Lots to talk about. All right. So where do we start? So I've been talking about the GameBreaker Nation for quite a while now. I know you guys have been anxiously waiting on our every move of when we're going to launch this thing and what's going on. And most of you guys probably watching this are the hardcore might know that I went on vacation for like about 10 days. I had a wedding to go to, and I was in France, and had a lot of time to sort of think about the GameBreaker Nation, what it means for GameBreaker, why we're doing it, and I started rethinking some things. And actually, I got to say, there was kind of one moment throughout my entire trip that kind of really brought me to this realization. So it's the first time I've ever been in France, and my wife and I were doing like all the touristy things and checking out everything, and the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe and everything. And we went to Notre Dame, and we showed up like the perfect time, and it was like mass. It was just about to start, and I've never, I was like, hey, how many times in your life are you going to say you're going to, sit through mass at Notre Dame? So we sat down. I was like, all right, let's just sit through mass. I got to say, by the way, if you ever get a chance, please do it. The acoustics in Notre Dame, guys, are like unbelievable. The organ starts playing, and it's like ear porn. And then this woman started singing. It was like the most amazing thing to my ears ever. It was like, oh my God. I turned to my wife and I was like, I could listen to this forever. I could just sit here all day and listen to this woman sing and listen to this organ. It's phenomenal. It's so weird. And you can't tell where the organ's coming from. I had to like search and finally, like it's unreal. Anyway, so about, I don't know, I guess about, 45 minutes or so, like through the service, we're sitting there, and they do what they normally do at mass, and people get up and they start walking down the aisles with baskets and holding them out, and they don't say anything, but they communicate like, would you donate and help? And it kind of hit me right there, and I just popped into my head, and I just said, what if we just asked? What if we just asked everybody for help? So you guys have been hearing me talk about how we were going to do a subscription thing, and how we were going to, set this whole thing out. We were trying to figure out ranks and levels and all this stuff. And I came home and said, you know what? We're going to throw all that shit out the window. We're going to make it free. We're just going to like open it up, and we're just going to see what happens. And we're going to ask you guys for help. We're going to ask you for help. So there's going to be more to this, and I'll be revealing more in the future about how this is going to work. But the GameBreaker Nation will be launching without any sort of like mandatory restrictions and fees and things like that. It's going to be no subscription services. So what's going on? We're feverishly working to try and get the GameBreaker Nation website up and running now, because this changes everything. This changes like even how the website works and all the back-end systems that we were looking to put in place. It changes a lot. So it should accelerate things and get things actually off the ground even quicker than we were looking at. But we had a meeting, I guess, 2 days ago with all the GameBreaker Nation officers and everyone else, and kind of told them the direction that we're going to do. Everybody seems really excited about it, and now we can kind of like put everything in place to get rolling. So I would expect the GameBreaker Nation website to be up and running sometime, hopefully next week. Hopefully it doesn't take any longer than that. And I'll be giving guys more information in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, about sort of like the bigger plan of GameBreaker, where we're going and what we want to do. So, but that is the big news of the day, is that we're going completely open with it. So, hope you guys are excited. Please leave feedback and let us know. I don't know how anybody could kind of complain about that. It's like, hey, so it's going to be really interesting. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about in the near future. But like I said, that story is kind of important because it's just something that like it's interesting about just maybe talking to you guys and asking for help with something, because that's really what we're going to do. And it'd just be interesting to see what sort of happens and how much you all want the GameBreaker Nation, how much we want it, and even kind of in the grand scheme or big picture of things of what I really want GameBreaker to become. And we can take it to that level, but we can't do it without your help. So definitely more information coming in the future on all that stuff. So that's the short end. Hopefully the website's actually up right now. If you guys haven't checked it out, GameBreakerNation.com is live. There's a splash page, and you can go and put your email address in to sign up for the newsletter. So it's not just going to be just for this. I mean, we're going to keep those emails going forward throughout the entire thing. So once the GameBreaker Nation is fully launched, we'll be doing like, newsletters, like probably weekly, monthly, things like that, updates, all that kind of stuff. So we'll have your email addresses. So get on over there and put your email address in. Plus, it's going to help us get an idea about how many people are interested in this thing. A lot of you are already signed up, so the list is growing. It's getting quite large. And then we will be feverishly working on, like I said, the website, get that up and running as soon as possible. And get this thing going and get you guys in and start having some fun. Start playing some games together. So I can't wait. The other big thing since I've been gone since the last episode, we got single sign-on working. That's a big one. Single sign-on now works. So if you go sign up to the forums or go to GameBreaker.tv or any of the other sites, EQ Nation, XIV Nation, if you click on forums and you go and you log in and sign into that one, you'll notice now that if you jump over and hit one of the other sets of forums on any of the other sites, you're already logged in. So thanks to JKK for spearheading that and getting that to work while I was gone. That's a big help, and I think everyone is super appreciative to not have to log in 8,000 times now.
Yeah.
I do want to add though, if you were only signed up for the GameBreaker account before, if that's all you had was just the GameBreaker forums, you're probably going to run into a server error when you try to log into the forums. Just throw us a Twitter message or send me an email at cm@gamebreaker.tv and I can reset your password, and then you'll be able to log in again.
Yep. One little bump in the road and that's about it, but it's pretty easy fix. So just hit them up and we'll fix it. So hopefully that's all good and said. So we got that out of the way. Let's Justin, let's talk about the stream team a little bit, because that's something that we kind of touched on with the last meeting with the GameBreaker Nation peeps on the back end, the officers and stuff like that. So what are we looking at doing with the stream team?
All right, so what we want to do with the stream team is sort of provide you all, the viewers, you all, the community, a 24-hour location to go to, and just if you want to watch somebody streaming a game, you can go check them out. They'll be streaming all different types of games throughout the day. It'll be a schedule. It's just a sort of a way to have all day, all the time, some kind of game is streaming for you to go in there and chat with the streamer, talk with them, chat with the rest of the community, and have something to do. So if you're at work and you're not getting any work done, you can pull up Twitch stream and watch the GameBreaker Nation stream for that time and enjoy it while you're doing it, chat with people. So that's the object of the stream team. And for that, we need streamers. We need you all in the community who have streamed before, have the capability to stream, and maybe even have the personality to stream. And if you're interested, we need you to fill in certain things like scheduled time slots. And you also get the perk of being a part of the GameBreaker Nation stream team on Twitch, which we're going to create, so that it will say on your own personal streams that you're part of the team, and you'll be listed on the page for the stream team. Yeah,
so we're actually gonna create a completely, we already have it. We have twitch.tv/GB Nation. So that's gonna be like our GameBreaker Nation stream as well. And what we want to do is kind of ramp that up to 24-hour, hopefully at some point 24-hour streaming with a bunch of cool people. So the other thing I wanted to ask you about, let's talk about a little bit about, we're going to talk about more in depth in weeks to come and stuff once things start getting kicked off. But a lot of people out there, maybe this is the first time you're even watching GBN Cast, you're even wondering what the GBN is. And it's an initiative though where I want to create the largest cross gaming guild in the world. Like I want gamers all over coming to one place. And I really want to kind of foster this big back end push to kind of give you guys, the guild officers and a big thing that we're doing, I think is really different, is the event coordinators and planners and things that we're going to do in game. So we want to create weekly events, multiple events for each game, different nights of the week for you guys to show up and do and interact. We talked about some of them in the past, but I wanted to bring up some of them now. So we threw it out to our officers and event coordinators in the past few weeks, and they actually came back to us with ideas of what they want to do as far as events go for all of you guys once we get this thing up and running. So, Justin, what were some of like the, I don't know, what were some of the cool ideas that people have come up with that they want to do for the event ideas?
We actually have a good number of events already, which is really awesome. So I just pulled out a couple of them for people to look at. And the best ones seem to involve regular, ordinary things you might have played in your childhood that have been brought over into the video game scene. And an obvious one is a scavenger hunt. These are, an event outside the norm of a game. The scavenger hunt, you follow a list of clues that provides you maybe to different locations or items in the world you have to find, and there are different variations you can take within your group. The idea is you go there to those locations, take a screenshot with your group, and the fastest group who completes the scavenger hunt with proof of everything, they win. It's a simple task, but it's just sort of it's just a fun community event to go out there and have to find these tasks, and some of them might be harder things to take down or harder locations to get to. So it could involve some challenging aspects within that.
Yeah, I love, and again, if you guys just watched This Week in MMO, like we started talking about like the Eves, I love stuff like this. I love like when gamers and things like kind of take games into their own hands and like, create like in-game community events and stuff. So, we know we're going to do the norm, like we're going to have raid night and we're going to have PvP night and things like that. But I think these are the ones that I'm actually more excited about. They're kind of the more social, just like fun stuff. What else you got?
We also have kind of like taking, and we know dungeons to me are boring to constantly run dungeons over and over again. So you got to make it some reason interesting, some reason make them fun. So one of our officers came up with the idea of a need before greed dungeon runs, or I called it the naked dungeon runs. And the idea is you have like a list of dungeons that you have to complete in a certain order, but you have to come with your group naked. And maybe like whatever your weapon is, whatever, but your character is naked, not in real life, but on game. If you want to be live, don't be on camera. But you come with your character naked, and you start at the bottom dungeon, and you basically are at that point speedrunning. When you complete a dungeon, you contact them, provide proof that you completed it, and move on to the next one. So obviously, it's called Need Before Greed because you're going to use the gear that you earn while you're completing that dungeon. You can't bring anything else with you. So you're going to earn gear as you complete each dungeon and go through it and see who can complete that dungeon run the fastest.
The amount of jokes going on in chat room right now, like we're going streaking naked. But again, these are just like fun things to kind of break up, like all the other times you're going to be able to be playing with your guild, and we want to like do these a ton. Do you have any others on the list?
This one is sort of, it might be too game specific, but I thought it was really awesome, just kind of cool to bring in. And the person who created it is in Rift, so they got their whole dimension building and stuff, which is cool in itself, but it provides so many opportunities for unique game mechanics. And one they came up with was a living board game night.
What?
Where they can design the dimension to be like a chessboard, or they were even talking about going as far as making it a risk board in the game. And just sort of like you actually, as your character, you play the role of in chess, the knight or the bishop and stuff. You play that role, and somebody else is controlling you, and they tell you where to go. And then, I don't know, maybe you do it when you come up against an enemy. You actually duel each other to the death to see who actually wins that fight and continue on.
Oh my God, that's actually hilariously and cool at the same time. So, yeah, I think a lot of them I think a lot of the ideas are actually going to revolve around specific games and specific mechanics in them. So the more we can utilize that, and I'm sure we'll find ways in the future to even ask the community for more ideas and things like that. But the GameBreaker Nation officers and event coordinators have been like really kicking ass, like coming up with different ideas and stuff like that. I don't know. Before we move on, do you have any others, or is that pretty much it? We have so many. We have so many.
Yeah, they've been great coming up with them.
Yeah, and I pulled these from the hard list. These are all the ones that were like hard amount of time it takes to plan for. We obviously got easier ones. Just a simple lottery night where you put some money in and gamble your chance to win all the money and win it. Those are simple. Even down to ones like a parody music video night where a song is chosen and you get together as a group and just start dancing, and it's all recorded, and we can put it up on the site as a parody music video.
Really cool.
Miley Cyrus.
And again, we're probably going to be having, the goal is here to say we're going to have multiple games. People are interested in different things, but hopefully we'll even have, we're going to have a big schedule out and people can see everything on GameBreakerNation.com of what's happening tonight, what's happening tomorrow night. And you are going to see overlap. So you're going to see stuff going on the same time in World of Warcraft that's going on in Rift and stuff like that. So some of you are going to have to decide maybe what you want to be, but you might also see some cool stuff in other games and you're going to be like, hey, I always wanted to play that game. And I've never really had the chance. So this gives me a chance, an opportunity to kind of go in and do something fun. We talked about some of the other ones, like the League of Legends one. I love the idea of the League of Legends one. I don't know why, because I know when we do League of Legends stuff on GameBreaker, our core community of MMO players, so many people show so much interest in League, but they're sort of afraid to take that leap and kind of really get into it. But they want to. So, I know our League guy was saying that he wants to really start holding sort of League University kind of things where nights where they can come in and you could learn League in a really kind of cool environment, not get yelled at for being a noob and stuff like that. So lots of different stuff like that. And that's going to be a big, big part of the GameBreaker Nation. The events are going to be a big part of it. And then also the event coordinators are going to be documenting all of this stuff. So they're going to be doing screenshots, frapsing video, all that kind of stuff. And then we're going to be repurposing that stuff back out on the GameBreakerNation.com site. So you can see it the next day. So your run, you took down X boss or something, or the fight, we're going to put all that stuff up there. And even if you don't play other games, you're probably going to find some really cool stuff and see the fun that people are having in other games. So all that good stuff will get posted. All right, let's go on. Missy, I know you've got a lot of sort of roles and people that we're looking for amongst various games that we still need to fill some holes for officers and coordinators. So why don't you run down some of that?
So a lot of people have been asking, one, where they can apply, and I'll provide the link probably in the description when this is posted on our site. But I'm going to run down some of the roles and which games we're actually wanting to launch with. So I'm needing Dota 2 mentors and event planners. So the idea with mentors, as I've explained before, is that you'd be teaching people how to play Dota 2. So that's where we take out the toxic environment and have you be able to learn how to play the game. I'm still needing Final Fantasy officers and event planners, Firefall officers and event planners. I'm really needing the Guild Wars 2 people to start stepping up, and I'm needing officers and event planners for that as well. We're covered with League of Legends event planners, but I'm needing mentors, and that's where you guys could be able to, again, have that university night in League of Legends and be able to learn, especially with the new character Jinx out. Oh my gosh, I'm excited about her. Neverwinter is another one where we need both. Rift, we're still needing more officers and event planners. Smite, again, it's mentors and event planners because we don't have that in-game guild. Star Wars, The Old Republic, the issue that I've been running into is the way that the free and the sub is going on. We're handling that part of it. So again, officers and event planners won't have to be subbed. They can play free if they want to be part of the group. So officers and event planners for that. Secret World. A lot of people don't remember Secret World, but we used to have fun in it. I mean, Q and Mike still play in it every now and then. So if you still enjoy the Secret World, we'll need officers and event planners. Now, as far as World of Warcraft, I had to break it down into regions, and eventually, as other games get a bigger following in EU, we'll eventually branch off into those as well. World of Warcraft, I need EU people. So officers and event planners need to apply. As far as NA goes, it's just Alliance officers and Horde event planners only. So that is what I'm needing now that you guys know. I'll try to update it as much as I can. Again, I have the list in the officer form where you can sign up and become an officer. And if you guys don't,
so that's the big thing here. I want to say, just so everyone's clear out there, how do they go and navigate to get in touch with you about these positions? That's the clear thing we need to clear up.
At this point in time, it's probably best to go ahead and send it to submit@gamebreaker.tv if you're still interested. We do have a sticky on our forums at GameBreaker. It's in the announcements sections, and we linked the form there. I've been plugging in the link all week in our chat rooms, if you guys have noticed. So definitely send it in to submit@gamebreaker.tv.
Submit at GameBreaker.tv is probably the best way. So I'm going to run them down really quick for you. So Dota 2, Final Fantasy, Firefall, Guild Wars 2, League of Legends, Neverwinter, Rift, Smite, Star Wars, Secret World, and some World of Warcraft people. So there's still availability there on all of those fronts if you guys are interested. So send an email to submit at GameBreaker TV and let us know what you're interested in, and Missy will get in touch with you and kind of get you all time. We have quite a few. How many people do we have actually right now? It's a full roster list. Do we know exactly what the number is? Because it's growing.
I would have to look. I think it's at 30.
Yeah, so we already have about 30 people in the back end of the GameBreaker Nation working on all of this stuff. It's not like we're, there's just quite a few people, and we really want to flesh out a lot of these other games that are, I don't want to say smaller, but we wanted to hit the big ones first. Now, what do we have with new officers? What's going on there?
New officers, we've recently added a couple of new officers. I have been sending emails, so yes, I'm sending emails out to you guys. I'm just really, really slow, so if it takes a while or or the roles are filled up, remember, you can still apply to be, or you can be active in the game for the eventuality of being a welcome committee or team leader. But we do have a couple of new officers. Neobari is our Final Fantasy Officer Council. We have Smart AZJ Boy for Final Fantasy Officer. And we got a new World of Warcraft. And I can't remember his name off the top of my head, and I'm sorry, I said it at the meeting. So...
and then one last thing is, if you've submitted a sort of an inquiry or showed interest a while back, there's been kind of a time lapse period where I think, Missy, you've been kind of showing that you're really not sure, like, if some people are still interested in who may have applied a long time ago. So what do you suggest those people do? Should they get back in touch with you and apply again, or?
Right now, I went through, and there's actually an option with the way that we've been doing that to where you can now edit your previous submission if you're still interested. I do still suggest that if you're still interested, again, send an email to submit@gamebreaker.tv. Say, hey, I applied. Give me your forum name, and I'll be able to find you really easily.
There you go. So send it, forum name. Super, super easy. All right, I think that kind of covers everything for the week. I hope you guys are excited. I'm super excited. Came home and just was totally psyched. And like I said, in the GameBreaker Nation meeting 2 days ago, everybody seemed to be super excited about this direction and the way we're going with it. So it's going to be really interesting and awesome. Hopefully I have more information for you guys next week. Hopefully GameBreaker Nation is up and running next week. We're doing our best. We're going as fast as possible now that this is all coming to fruition, and I can't wait to get you guys in and start playing some games. I should also note that the Mumble server, and you guys were wondering all about that. We're gonna launch that and everything as well. So we'll have a max Mumble server going, all ready to go, and we'll get all the information on GameBreakerNation.com once you guys sign up and things like that. So leave a comment, let me know what you think, and we'll keep you guys informed and let you know. And thanks so much for watching the GBN Cast, and I don't know, our game, our nation. Let's do it.